Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back. That was crazy. My microphone was not tilted at me. But before we get started, I know it's been a second since I've done one of these of my own gameplay. A lot of the videos I've been posting have been either coaching or they have just been straight up me playing games from stream, etc. Well, this is a game that we played, and I had a really good time with it. We are currently in Celestial 2. This is where this game is actually taken from. This is actually a Celestial 3 game, but nonetheless, it was a really good showing. Before we get started, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe and consider, you know, following the Twitch link down below. We're on a push for partner right now, and we're quite close to it. So I would appreciate it if you'd stop in sometime. Anyway, this is a Celestial 2 lobby. This is going to be the domination map of the Ystrel, I think is what it is. It's the Thor and Loki like kind of environment. But I thought this was a pretty neat game. We had a very good showing as far as playing damage went. Very low death count. We played very consistent this game, which is what I was very much wanting. Already off the bat, kind of just pressuring with Demon, trying to build up ult charge, making sure we do not overextend too much. Our tank ends up falling. We end up missing the dash, which was kind of a tough scene, but it's okay. Okay, now we see that they walk down to point after they ended up losing the Punisher. But he ended up getting res, which is kind of a tough scene. Making sure I dash out here. I really want low elo players especially to like consider to stop kind of engaging with this dash ability. A lot of the times you get a lot of value just off of using your portal and like placing a demon, but somebody even told me the best ability on Magic is actually the primary fire because it does a lot of damage, it cleaves, and it goes through shield. Typically, 9 times out of 10, you can get somebody low enough if you're engaging on them to then finish them with the E, or the dash, to confirm the kill. Because also, holding on to it allows for these kinds of plays where you drop, see if anything's going to happen with your tanks pushing up. If it doesn't work out, you can kind of run backward, right? And it can make a very good experience for you, make sure that you are just a little bit safer. Right here, just kind of placing the demon down to do a little damage to the rocket pylon. Doesn't end up working out too great, so we end up dashing back into our team. Punisher ended up chasing us up the stairs, which is fine. Again, right here, all we're trying to do is just play it as best we can, see if we can get a pick. And I think I actually end up calling this on this fight to just reset and back up. It just wasn't working out. And that is exactly what we do. I've been having a very fun time playing, as we've only been playing Magic. We have about a 63% win rate with her, and I think about 120 games on her, so it's not too bad. We've been playing very good, and it's all, for the most part, solo queue, so it's been very fun. Doing our push to eternity on Twitch this week as well, so we're going to see if we can hit it. Okay, we end up following in with the Cloak and Dagger ult. We end up getting 2 picks. And right here, this is where Magic is just going to be able to perform at her best. Right here, we're just kind of dumping as much damage as we can, stat pad a little bit if we can. Don't really need to pop the ultimate quite yet, as we're still, very comfortably winning the fight. Now that we see that the Strange Portal is out, we will actually end up popping the ultimate. Really important that we identify. So we see the gunfire coming from this right side right here from the Punisher. So rather than fighting the Rocket, who can very easily have a chance of getting away, we end up diving the Punisher over here because he's just kind of a fish. This character doesn't have much mobility, so it's just quite an easy pickup. Not any situation where he's going to be able to get out of the way of that in his tight hallway. Okay, we end up hearing the eye go out, so we know that they're going to focus their attention away from us. And now we are just able to comfortably move forward, land the attack on the Rocket. Very good. Not bad. Very good ult. Love to see it. TTV SpongeBob. I actually played with that guy in my next game. It was a very interesting match. It was a fun one, though. I do believe we won that one as well. Okay, right here, we're just kind of holding this top area to see what we can see. I would probably prefer to take something a lot more proactive, so like something up over here on the left to just kind of scout, maybe even up here on this place, because we have the Namor and the Loki. We can definitely play this. So I think actually me being on this top ledge is not as good for anything, because I'm very far from the action. If something ends up happening, I'm going to be very late. Not necessarily because I won't be in the team fight per se, but where I want to be standing, which is going to be like positioning to pressure either the backline or the tanks, depending on like which one is more exposed. I can't really do that comfortably from up here. If anything, I'm more exposed from a big doorway as a melee character. So this is actually kind of a bad spot for me to be sitting in. You see, I'm kind of just like floating, not really doing a whole lot, just looking at them. Here we actually end up taking a more dynamic angle. Kind of, now we're fighting Thor, just pressuring him off, building as much ult charge as we can. Magic is really, really solid into fighting Thor as of the current patch. Also, on the talk of the patch, the whirl, by the way, the nerf to that is actually not going to be taking place. It's only going to be the demon nerf and the ultimate cooldown reduction that is going to be happening. So those of you that were worried about the one-shot combo, it is definitely going to be still be a thing. The demon is just the only part of the kit getting nerfed at this point. Which, I don't know. I feel like we're about to see Magic be a lot stronger next season just based off of the fact that triple supports can be a bit weaker, but we'll see. We will see how it goes. Character's already really, really strong, so... Okay, trying to just fish for a kill, getting the knock up, seeing if we can, you know, catch somebody out. Getting hooked by the Bucky, immediately portal backward. And just walk up into the Strange. It's very important that we kind of like mix the flow of what you want to do as Magic. If you only commit to either diving or only pressuring tanks, you're gonna end up not being able to get the most out of your kit, which is what makes this character so strong. She's a very dynamic snowball character. So it's very important that whenever you see opportunities to just immediately stop fighting the tanks and go to the backline, that you capitalize on that as best you can. This is an unfortunate death. This is one of 2 deaths that we have here. This one, I will say, I think that this right here, me running this way, definitely not the move, because I could easily, you know, run back. If I come to the Loki over here, I actually live, like, 1000%. There's no way I die, unless he, like, ults down, but... No, he actually ults this way. But if I walked in the Loki lamp, then I would have lived, and we actually probably kill this Bucky, so it's very unfortunate. But the fight in terms of like where we are positioning wise is an L. One, because our Namor is actually DC'd. They DC'd. So it's a 5v6 no matter what. And we lost Magneto really early. So this is kind of like an L, like all around. This is just not going to go very well in our favor. So, you know, it is what it is. This guy probably, I would either hope that he runs, which would be ideal, or he just dies really quick. Same thing with the Strange, but we'll see. So we die, Strange dies quick, and Loki gets out. Okay, big, huge, not bad. Cloak and Dagger died a little late, but we should be okay. Yeah, so we still are missing our teammate, and I think he's gone, actually, for the entirety of this round. This is a closer round than it should have been, for sure, but we do know now, just analyzing, and I made this call in-game, they do not have a support ult, because they have a rocket cloak. No matter what, I'm going to get value out of ulting, just because of the way their team comp is situated. It's a really, really easy angle to kill Cloak and Bucky whenever you're in Magic, or not Bucky, Punisher when you're in Magic ult. So as long as I go and I make sure that I'm like diving them consistently and running them up with the ult, like automatically, immediate pop, because we know. And again, first thing that we do, this guy's always going to be the weakest link because he's playing so far away. When playing Magic, it is so incredibly important. If it happened once, it's gonna happen again and again and again. We killed this Punisher for the same way last time. We know that he's gonna be holding somewhere far. We immediately spot him out of the crowd and immediately dive him. Immediately kill him out of the way. And now we've evened it to a 5v5. Huge. Massive. Okay, it's a good ult. Very nice. Huge. And now our Strange is going to ult. We end up fucking up the demon a little bit, but it's okay. It works out. And then the Punisher gets off point. Huge. Not a bad round. Very, very good. The end of round stats are 10 final hits out of our 14 kills, so we're getting mostly, you know, confirms off of what we're doing, as well as high damage for the round. Remember, damage doesn't necessarily mean that we're doing our job, but is a good indicator of how often we are getting our ultimates, which is great, obviously. One thing I want to talk about in terms of, like, if it is a 5v6. We saw it a little bit whenever we were fighting the Punisher, and I talked about it a little bit there. Kind of a thing that you learn in Valorant whenever I played that is that whenever you have lower numbers and you're entering a team engagement, it's very, very important that you even it out as best as you can. So in that situation, when it was a 5-on-6, rather than playing really reserved and waiting to use the ultimate, I knew we need to explode as soon as we get there, so we can try to even the score and kill somebody as quickly as possible, especially because they don't have a cloak and dagger ult. So the opportunity is there for us to ultimately even the field and make it much more closer, so that way the fight is a lot more even rather than being favored for them. I think here, what did they end up getting? They actually swapped to Spider-Man, which is a bit of an interesting swap, because we do have a Namor, but I think that they might have just forgotten about it because he DC'd last round, and we ended up clutching it up. Okay. Here we kind of just walk backward and attempt to go peel for our team, making sure that Spider-Man cannot just run free. And now that he's gone, we have a little bit of a gap, so we try to mess with the support. We end up missing the dash. When alone, it's fine to be like using the dash to engage, obviously. Like, obviously go ahead and attempt it, like right here. But whenever it's like a 3-man, it's just a really bad idea. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up either dying or, like, before you get the kill, or trading at best, right? And if it's not a support you're trading with, then in my opinion, it's not worth at that point. Kind of just holding back. In an ideal position, I would love to be on this left side here. Me standing far back like this is kind of a troll. We don't need extra peel. We have into more. So what am I doing back here, you know? There's just not a lot of value that I'm personally giving to the team because of it. Okay, we see Spidey hopping around. And the spider is behind us. We hear him, but we kind of just default back to going to our team because of the ult. Our teammate pops ult as well, which is great. We just kind of dash in. We have the safety of the ult, obviously, so dashing in is not as bad. Dodge the portal, not too bad. I don't think... Does Bucky kill us? No. We get bubbled. Okay, again, we're gonna be able to brawl because the Magneto ult pops in the air, so he's just gonna absorb all of the bullets from the Bucky. Okay. And this should be the end of this hold as well, where we just kind of end up locking it in a little bit. But we're being very productive, making sure that we're singling out the people that we need to, and we're walking back whenever we need to help the team. I think that the biggest issue that I'm seeing right now is I'm actually not walking forward enough on these, like, the post-fight. I need to, after the fight is over, I need to actually position myself a little bit better, because I feel like I'm just giving them a lot of room to just do something else whenever I could be, you know, preemptively setting myself up in a spot where I can actually go and pressure something rather than just, like, letting them do something else. This ult is pretty bad. I end up using my last dash and I get shotgunned. This is kind of an L. It's very, very unfortunate. I definitely should have immediately dashed out after disrupting them a little bit and gone to the point to help our team, because this could have been horrible. While we're on the topic, by the way, I will be continuing. I'm going to start doing the live commentaries yet again. They are not going to they're not always going to be in Celestial. I have another account that's around a high diamond GM level that is also going to be played on, because it is quite hard to do live commentaries and talk about what you're doing at all times. It can be very difficult sometimes if the game is really hard. And I don't like a lot of dead air in my commentary, obviously. I yap a lot, as you can tell. So, right here, we'll talk about this. We kind of see that the portal goes out, and more importantly, we see that the tanks jump through with this portal. So, the goal here, since we're not going to be able to kill anything anyway, just walk out so we can pressure as much as we can, and then fall back once we get the pick. Again, in a situation like this where it's even, we know that there's going to be a lot of, you know... We see them come through the portal, you know, Strange, or the Venom pops through, and if there is anybody in there, it's probably a squishy. So, obviously, Strange comes off spawn, but, I mean, it's always worth it to kind of check and see, because they don't have any hard CC other than the Strange ult. And also, Strange is on a 4-second death timer, so this is a perfect opportunity to kind of dive in, especially if they do have another support ult. This will kind of allow us to pressure, and then if they want to pop it, they're going to have to really fight to get through the portal. Portal ends up closing. The Punisher did not make it through. And here we're just trying to build ult charge as best we can, just in case something goes bad and we need it for the next fight. But it's looking like curtains. It's not too bad. Very, very good. And that's incredible value as a DPS. We did exactly what we needed to do, and because of that, while I don't necessarily think that we uber hard carried, you know, the other roles of the game, I do think in the terms of like the damage aspect, we definitely did a lot, and we overperformed compared to the other DPS in the lobby, which is great. You know, we kept our deaths low, we kept our damage high, we kept our final hits quite high. 14 out of 25 is a little bit of a fall off compared to the last round, but it's still not that bad, you know. So we'll take it. It's not too bad at all. Especially whenever you compare it to the rest of the lobby. Wonderful. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I love you. I love you so much. Love you, mean it. Bye. See you later.